Hey everyone, welcome to Comic Artist Pro Secrets. My name's Ethan Van Sciver, artist for DC Comics, and well, despite that, I'm going to be drawing Squirrel Girl today because I put out a request for ideas for how to draw class video, and a lot of people want me to draw Squirrel Girl, which is strange because I've never drawn Squirrel Girl before. But what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to look at the reference that I have, the Erica Henderson drawings for the current series, and I'm going to kind of do my spin on it and see, re-examine the character and see what happens. I'm probably not going to be as definitive as her version is, but it's going to be my version. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Squirrel Girl. All right, let's do it. Let's begin. All right, so my first thought about the character is just her size, her body type. Squirrel Girl, I immediately think very small, very petite. I want her to remind people of a small squirrel. I don't know. That's my first thought. It could be wrong. But you want to take a stab at things and just see what happens. So my Squirrel Girl would probably be like 5'1", little tiny thing. But that's her size is belies her moxie, because she's Squirrel Girl, so she's gonna be tough. Erica Henderson, her version of Squirrel Girl is a little bit, let's see, she's got a little bit more meat on her. We could do that. That's fine. But we're going to kind of just draw the shape of a woman here and just keep her proportions kind of small, like she would be, I don't know. She's got to be cute. And it looks like the other thing that Erica does is give her prominent front teeth. Like she's got not necessarily an overbite. Let's put one. Not necessarily an overbite, but kind of just her two front teeth they kind of stick out a little bit. I'm looking at her costume. I don't know if I want to do a costume redesign. I don't think I do. I think I'm going to draw Squirrel Girl, but I'm going to do it my way. Let's put it that way. So if I were given the book, she's got hair that kind of does this. The thing about squirrels is they have kind of long ears that are kind of have hairs coming off the ends of them. So like a squirrel's ears kind of will do this a little bit, all right? Like the fur kind of comes off. So I want to kind of emulate that with her hair. I want to kind of make her hair kind of come to points, and then just kind of wisp away there. It looks like she wears little ears, little squirrel ears. That's pretty cool. I'm going to make those a little bit bigger. She's got a bomber jacket. Okay. She's not really top heavy. I don't think she should be. And she's a squirrel. So we're going to give her, a moderate bust. And she's got pouches on her belt. That's handy. I wonder what she keeps in them. All right. So this is the overall shape that I've come up with for Squirrel Girl. She is going to be a petite woman, but she's adventurous and she's fun, and she's sexy in a way. She's cute. I would say cute would be the word that we're going for, because squirrels are cute. So all right. Okay, so we're working on her face here. Now, given some thought to her character, I don't think she has any superpowers. I don't think. Does she? Maybe she communicates with squirrels or something like that. Like one of those kind of like silly but fun kind of mutant powers. I don't even know if she's a mutant or not. I haven't done any reading on Squirrel Girl. This is just kind of off the top of my head. But if we're going to apply what we know about squirrels to this character, and make her kind of kind of like a living representative of a human representative of squirrels. I would say she would be kind of to other heroes and maybe villains. They might see her as a little bit of a pest, but she's cute and she's got a good heart and she means well, and she's also smart, like unexpectedly clever, like a squirrel, and can kind of get the job done where maybe others can't. She's crafty and she's smart, and her bubbly, chipper demeanor might belie that. Like you wouldn't know that about her. Let's see. So we're gonna kind of give her this cool haircut. Yeah. What does she wear? She doesn't have anything on her neck, so we can go in and put a neck. I'm looking at Erica Henderson's cover to Squirrel Girl #1. I think I'm posting it here for you to see. Probably when I edit this, I'm just going to put it up there so that you can kind of see what we're going for here. And it's a pretty good design. I just, I have a few different kind of thoughts, like things to add to it, and that's kind of what we do. When you're handed a character, you do want to kind of put your stamp on it where you can. And see, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, there could be Squirrel Girl fans who say, no, yuck. That's fine. But, at least you try. You try to do your own thing. Are these ears too big? I don't know. I think they're funny, though. I don't know. I already like her. Okay, so she's got some kind of a bomber jacket. It's like, are the lapels, are they furry? It would make sense that they were. Kind of like Hal Jordan's jacket that his dad left him. Let's get some more kind of wispy, sharp, like pointy strands of hair here. Sweep down across her neck here in the front. Like that. And yeah. And I'm putting a little bit of baby fat on her still. I think that's kind of cute. It suggests that she's, still young. I'd say she's like 19, 20 years old. That's what I'm picturing. And so she's still, look at just optimism. Mischief and optimism. That's Squirrel Girl. That's my Squirrel Girl. Let's see here. All right. And this will be kind of like a lot of hair in the back that just kind of comes down here. It's an interesting shape. It'll look good when she runs. It'll look like, it'll kind of have the same effect as a squirrel tail, like when you see her running from behind. Make her look a little bit more like the animal. All right. Yeah, and I just had this thought, I think just for this piece, let's just have her hands up, like paws. I don't know. Like a squirrel's paws. This is the thing about drawing. You want to just let ideas flow. And, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. But I pencil very loosely. You see my blue line is just open. The original idea was to just have her arm hanging down, and then I went, no, it's cuter if her arms are up like this. I think. We'll see. You'll have to tell me when it's done. All right, so it looks like her jacket is rolled up in cuffs. I think this is probably a consistent design. I don't know if she wears different things. I'm kind of the mind that some superheroes need to have uniforms, and those uniforms need to be exactly the same all the time. But other superheroes who are wearing their clothing as either a disguise or just for practical purposes, like to fight with, should be able to kind of switch their costumes out here and there. And Squirrel Girl might be one of those, because it looks like her costume is kind of like something you could probably make yourself. I mean, you could find most of the stuff in your closet, and you know, so maybe Squirrel Girl could wear slightly different variations of her costume when she goes out. I mean, it's all in her face, you know, it's all you recognize her just based on, I think, her ears. You keep the ears and her hair and everything in her face. But everything else is kind of like, it should be interchangeable almost. Yeah, so I don't know. Just a thought. Alright. Oops, let me move this up. So we're giving her little fingers. She's got to have nails. She's got to have... She's a squirrel. Give her nice manicured fingernails. What do you think? Like with her hand up like that, it's kind of more squirrel-like. Should we do the other hand like that too, or is that pushing it? Might be pushing it. I mean, we could just, like, I drew it up like this just to look, and then I just kept it straight down also, and I think kind of like that might be better. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. She wears some kind of like interesting kind of half top here, and does it have like a lacy kind of thing? I'm not sure what that is, but we'll just copy what Erica did. Yeah, you have to respect the original artist's ideas. You're just adding to it. You're just adding your own spin. You have to remember, I mean, every book has fans, and those fans consider this character to be familiar to them, and so you need to strike familiar chords. If possible, you want to see if you can appeal to new people as well. But you can't stray too far, I think, from the familiarity that longtime fans have for a character, or you are going to be doing yourself a big disservice. You might be losing them, hoping for a new audience that you can't necessarily expect will show up. So the idea to me has always been, hey, hold on to the old fans as best as you can, and then try to reach out to new fans as well. That's how you grow a book. You know, Green Lantern, to me, I always thought, all right, we got to keep so many like familiar elements, because this book has been around for so long, and it has like a group of fans that are as widespread and loyal, I think, as Star Trek fans. See, this jacket's kind of short here. So, you know, pull in as many elements from what they know and what they're familiar with as possible, and then just make it better. Just build on it. I mean, so even with the character that's, you know, I mean, like, what's Squirrel Girl, like a B or C lister? I mean, you know, still, I mean, she's been around for a while. Steve Ditko created her. You want to take this character, if you're assigned this book or a book like it, you need to take that character very seriously, and you need to do your very best to tribute the character, but also grow the character. And, you know, make it your own. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to put this arm straight down like this. And then a good thing to do is to bend this wrist outwards, like so. Okay. So, little thumbnail. And keep these fingers nice and relaxed. There we go. Look at that. Oh, that's my girl. Yeah, these characters, I mean, as you draw them, they become your children. You know, you can sit there and look at them and just make them kind of special to you because they're yours. They come from your mind. All right, let's see. And I feel that way about almost everyone I've created. I sit there, I even coo at like characters like Carousel and Crib. When I draw them, I'm like, oh, there's my girl. There's my child kidnapping, monstrously deformed child and Crib. There's my beautiful girl whose face was ripped off by alien dogs. Oh, there you are, sweetie. I missed you. Let's see here. So her legs are... Does she have a tail? Are you serious? All right, we'll give her the tail too. We gotta just stick to we gotta stick to what's there. I wouldn't have done that. I think I would take her tail away. I don't know. I don't feel like it's necessary. But again, I mean, if it's there, you want to stick to tradition. So she's placed all of her weight on this leg, that's why it's straight up. This leg is just kind of taking a rest. So it's kicked to the side here. You'll find people kind of alternate where they place the stress of their body from leg to leg. Very rarely are you standing perfectly straight with all of your weight evenly distributed on both legs. That has to be kind of a conscious thing. All right, let's see. Give her these little boots. These are interesting. Yeah, I mean, she's got like furry kind of, I don't know, trim around her costume. And then like slight little elf boot here. All right. So it's more like less like this. I mean, I kind of see her as young and small, and I've got to give her a big, huge squirrel tail. You know what? I'm gonna reference a squirrel tail. Let me call up a squirrel picture here on my iPad. Squirrel. And the thing is, it's like, you know, you should always do that if possible. Like, you know, you could look at, you know, the drawings that you have of Squirrel Girl, and that's fine. Like, I would use those just to find the proportion of her tail. But, you know, you want to go straight to photo reference for a source, if possible. And I've just found this picture of a squirrel right there. Can we see it? There he is. There's my squirrel. All right, so I've got a picture of a squirrel, and I'm gonna sort of just borrow the shape of that squirrel tail just so I make sure that I get it right. Okay. Boy, it's big. Like in proportion to a squirrel's body, its tail is pretty big. I don't want to do too much of that. Now, the other thing is, how much detail do you want to put on this tail? Detail. Get it? No. Yeah, how much? Like, you could sit there and you could totally, like, render this to look like a real squirrel's tail if you wanted to. But I think that would detract. It would look monstrous and weird and creepy next to this cute little creature that we've created here on the page. So we're going to kind of just make it as simple as possible. All right. For the sake of her lovableness. And I mean, with a character like Squirrel Girl, you're going for lovable. You know, definitely. Because she's going to be, you would imagine the book is going to be about how she's kind of a little bit silly and kind of a nuisance to more serious heroes. So you need to make sure that she's not so annoying that you don't want her around or you don't want to read about her. You want to make sure that she's fun. All right. And I'll just hit that tail with a fatter line. This is a number 2. Oh, in case you're wondering, we're using Copic multi-liners. SP, okay, these also come in regular, kind of less expensive versions right here. All right, and these are disposable. These are supposed to be refillable. Great pens. I mean, you know, I recommend them highly. They're a little bit more expensive than Pigma Microns, which are the other brand of pen that a lot of comic book artists ink with. But I think you'll find you'll get better results. And I did a whole other video about art supplies. You can find it. You know, how to get professional comic art supplies from, you know, the chain store, Michael's Arts and Crafts. And I give pretty good recommendations there about what you can find there and what you should pick up. A lot of people are sending me great photographs of, you know, their new art supply swag and what they're doing with it. So that's great. All I want you guys to do is draw. I want you to draw and then send me the results and I'll tweet them out. All right, so what do you think of our Squirrel Girl here? Pretty good or not? I don't know. I mean, it's different than the one that's in the comic book. This is just kind of what fell out of my head in a few minutes, but this is the way I suppose if I were given the project, I would probably draw Squirrel Girl like this, and then just you know, let her evolve as I got more used to drawing her. I'll sign this thing right here, and there you go. There's Squirrel Girl. Thanks, you guys. Thanks for watching. And, you know, if you followed along or if you have your own ideas, why don't you send them to me via Twitter or my email? And it's so great to see you guys drawing along with me. All right. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and bye-bye.